Hello there, and then welcome to a brand new video. Now, in this lesson, we want to understand how to compare and then other numbers. How do we do it? We'll look at all that in this lesson, and then how to use the various symbols such as greater than, less than, or equal to. Without much ado, let's quickly look into it. Now, look at the numbers we have on our screen over here. So we have 8, we have 80, 800, 8,000, and an 80,000. You would realize that they all begin with 8, you see, but the place value of the 8 are all different. You see how important place value is. That is where comparing of numbers comes in. So to compare a number simply means you are looking at two or more numbers, then you want to decide which one is greater or smaller, or sometimes you want to decide if they are equal as well, right? Now, with that said, it is important we take note of the symbols we use when comparing these numbers. There are three of which we will be looking at in this lesson. The first one is what we have here, right? Written as this. We call it the greater than. We call it what? The greater than. So if you have two numbers, let's say A greater than B. If you put this symbol over here, all you are trying to say is the number A is bigger than the number B. So looking at this example here, if I say 76 is greater than 65, then all I'm trying to say is 76 is a bigger number as compared to 65. The next one is what we have here. We call it the less than symbol. So for the less than, this is how it looks like. You see, that is how it looks like. And how do we use it? You use it to indicate that A, that is the first number, is smaller than the second number. Hence, if I write 21 is less than 30, then this number 21 here is a smaller number as compared to our 30. Then the final one, which we have always seen, is an equal sign, and this is it over here. So if I have A equals B, then it simply means the value A is equal to the value B. Hence, if I have a 45 and then a 45 over here, I can say they are equal, you see. So these are the symbols we use when comparing and ordering numbers. Now, there are some 3 steps that we need to know. And with these 3 steps, we can compare and order any number of digits, you see. So let's look at these steps. So talking of how to compare numbers of any size, the step-by-step guide. First of all, count the digits. So alongside following the instructions, we'll be solving some questions here so that you see the application of what we want to do. So the first one says we should count the digits. Now, we have 645, and then we also have 528. So the first thing we want to do is to count the digits. So over here we have 1, 2, and then 3. There are 3 digits in 645. There's 1, 2, 3. That is 3 digits also in 528. More digits usually mean a bigger number. But over here, they are all having the same number of digits. So we can't base on step 1 to say that this number is bigger than this or this is bigger than this. In that case, if the numbers have the same number of digits, what do? We compare the digit, we compare them digit by digit, starting from the left. You see? So starting from the left, this is the leftmost, sorry. This here is our leftmost digit, you see. So this here is 5, whereas this here is 6. By comparing the first digit, we are realizing that they are different. And which one is bigger? 6 is bigger than 5. So with that, we can straightforward go and then say, okay, then it simply means 645 is greater than our 528. You see how simple it is. first we have to count the number of digits. So if there were 4 digits here and then there were just 3 digits here, we could have directly said this one is bigger. But in this case, we have 3 digits here and we also have 3 digits here. So we can't tell yet. But rather we compare them digit by digit, where we have 6 here and then we have 5 over here. If there is 6 and 5, which is the greatest? 6 is greater than 5. Hence, we can say 645 is greater than 528. Let's look at some few more examples. Okay, so for this second example here, we have 45,120. We are comparing it against 45,902. Right? We are comparing these two numbers. Now, following the same steps, our first step says we should count the number of digits. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas on our right hand side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they all have the same digits. So we can't tell which is bigger. Then we can now say if the numbers are the same, if the number of digits are the same, let's compare digit by digit. So we compare the first one to the first one and you realize they are both the same. There is a 4 here and there is also a 4 here. Then we go to the next digit. So there is 5 here and then there's also a 5 here. Wow, that is getting interesting. Then we look at the next digit. So there is 1 here and there is also a 9 over here. So that alone can be used to justify our conclusion. Since 9 is bigger than 1, then we can say that this number here is what? Bigger than this number over here. And I do hope that makes sense. So what sign do we then put over here? We are saying this number is the biggest one. Hence, this number is less than. You see? So we are going to put less than. You see that? Very, very simple. So following this guide or the steps, you'd be able to compare any number, right? With that said, let's try this last question here. It says, the attendance at the football match was 99,950, while at a concert was what? 100,000. Which event had a higher attendance? So how do we go about this? We are just following the same steps. So at the football, we had what? 99,950. We are comparing it against 100,000. And we said the first step was to count the number of tickets. So over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 digits over here. Whereas over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see? So there are 6 digits over here. With that alone, we can just form our conclusion. Because this number here has just 5 digits, and this on the other hand has 6 digits, then we can say the number with less digits is the smallest. Hence 99,950 is less than 100,000. And we can then conclude that which event had a higher attendance. So the event at the concert, or we can say the concert had a higher attendance, as simple as that. So that ends this lesson, and as usual, I'll leave you with some exercises. So here are some questions you can try on your own. They are just 2 sets. These ones are just simple and direct. All you are expected to do is to put less than, greater than, or equal to into these spaces you have over here. So if you see the first one you think is greater than the other one, you put that here. Then these are just some few word problems you can also try on your own. This is How Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. I do hope this lesson was helpful. See you in our next lesson, and bye for now.